Okay, we are a week into December, and you know what? No team in the National Hockey League has fewer regulation losses. No team has more points. No team has allowed fewer goals, and no team has won more road games than your Minnesota Wild. So, are we looking at a real Stanley Cup contending squad? Kirsten and I discuss, plus look at the stingy defense of Jared Spurgeon and Brock Faber, as well as more Kirill highlights, because why the hell not? As always, we're created by New Voice Studios, presented by SotaStick, brought to you by Talk North, Livea, Jim Beam, Royal Credit Union, and Grainbelt. This is season 6, episode 257.
At Jim Beam, they know the importance of tradition, like chanting, "Let's play hockey" prior to the start of each game, or playing the state of hockey anthem after a Wild win. This season, raise one to your fan family with a bourbon that invites us all to come as friends and leave as family. Jim Beam Bourbon Whiskey, the official bourbon whiskey partner of the Minnesota Wild and XL Energy Center. Drink smart. Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2021. James B. Beam Distilling Company, Incorporated, Claremont, Kentucky.
Get in on the Locker Room T-shirt series Captain Spurgeon Ticket Pack, December 20th, when your Minnesota Wild take on the Utah Hockey Club. They are offering a ticket pack which includes your ticket, as well as this one-of-a-kind SotaStick customized Captain Spurgeon T-shirt. How cool is that? Look at the muscles they gave Jared Spurgeon with this Locker Room series collection. We love it. Again, December 20th against the Utah Hockey Club. The ticket pack includes the Captain Spurgeon tee, which the entire team has, as well as your ticket to the game. And don't forget, SotaStick.com has all of your shopping needs covered for this holiday season. And when you buy online today, you get a free pull tab in every purchase with a chance to win even another prize. We love SotaStick.com. We love shopping local. As always, toss down Bardown Beauties at checkout for 15% off. Shop SotaStick.com. Hello, everybody. What's up? We're back. Bardown Beauties at 257. Like that, huh? I'm Jessi Pierce, writer for NHL.com. She's Kirsten Krull, in arena host, Taylor Swift unapologetic fan. And yeah, we're back another week. And another week, Kirsten, that we are back. And your Minnesota Wild are not only second in the league to the Washington Capitals, but no team has fewer regulation losses. No team has more points. No team has more road wins. And no team has allowed fewer goals than your Minnesota Wild. Again, I ask, is this real life?
It's real life. If you would have told me a few months ago this is where things would be at, especially right now with the Washington Capitals doing as well as they're doing, currently without Oshie, currently without Ovechkin, I would have been like, all right, all right. But yeah, I don't know. This is real life. It's happening. I've been very impressed. It's been a really fun season. I mean, it helps when your team is winning, but just overall across the league, I feel there's been a lot of surprises, and it's just been a fun season all around so far.
The New York Rangers. That's kind of a surprise. They're my team. They're my squad, and they are on
It's
the struggle
shocking.
bus. And then, not to mention, they get rid of
Truba.
their captain again. They sound like they're very rude to their players. Like they have no care or consideration for their guys. So Kirill
Yeah.
definitely doesn't want to go there.
But also people are making Truba out to be the bad guy. Like that he should have handled the situation differently. And I'm like, he earned his no move. And like he was
Yeah,
considering his family the whole time. Like,
right.
and then for them just to be like, if you don't accept this, we're just putting you on waivers. Like, I'm sorry, that's not how you treat your captain
Disrespect.
of your original six franchise,
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Yeah. It's wild.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Crazy. The Nashville Predators still
Ugh,
suck in other
poor
news.
Bruno. Just poor Bruno. Which
Do
shows that
we?
again, goes back to my point that I had with Bill Guerin. You can't pay all this money to these players. It doesn't mean squat. Yes, like they're good, but I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I'm not advocating for anyone to lose their job, but how much longer do you think Brunette stays the head coach of the Preds?
I mean, as we know, someone's got to go, and it's not Steven Stamkos, right? Like it's not Brady
Mhm.
Shea. So I don't know. I mean, it's odds got to be up there. They've got to be up there, as does I don't know. How safe do you think Mike Sullivan is?
Good question.
Right?
These
Like
are the
with Pittsburgh
questions that
being
keep
so
me up at
bad.
night.
I'm trying to think. There was somebody else that I was like, they've got to be on the list of. out, but maybe not.
How many
Cindy
coaches can you
Ruff,
fire in a season?
you
We've
fired a
already
lot.
seen what, three? Chicago, Montgomery,
Chicago, Boston, and St. Louis,
yeah, St. Louis.
because then they picked up Montgomery.
Uh-huh. We're just playing musical chairs.
It's how the hockey world works, though. You know what, though? John Hines, his job is safe. I don't know that I have given enough credit to John Hines. And we haven't done our due diligence in giving him the respect that he deserves as far as this turnaround goes. Yes, we love us some Dino. And going back to when they brought in John Hines a little more than a year ago to date, um, it wasn't the sexy hire, right? Like it wasn't, a name that you were like, ooh, and he hasn't gotten to that promised land either with any of his teams. Long time in Nashville, long time in New Jersey. He had a very average looking record, but he has this team. Everything just feels different. I brought this up to him last week at practice that, last year they had a slew of injuries, right? You had key players out. You had Bardown injured. You had Zuccarello injured last year. This year they're dealing with some of those same things with Broads and Eck and Zuki, but it feels different. Like you feel like they can do enough to weather the storm, and that speaks to the depth. I think John Hines is really focused in on this depth, and it's really started to work. So, I mean, John Hines has done so much to turn this team around because we saw even last year they started playing better, right? Once Hines came in. But he is just he's so different from Dino in the way he is tactically employing his systems, right? And he's so focused on every single detail of every single game. And I think it's just really an incredible job that he has done with this team because, again, this is the same roster that they had last year, and he's managing to get even more from those players.
It's kind of like Groundhog Day when you bring up the insult to injury with all of these injuries.
I know.
uh, we're just taking it a day at a time. That's all we can do. But no, I don't really no notes because you
No
said
notes.
everything
Yeah.
that I could possibly say about John Hines. Give the man his flowers. He's done an incredible job so far.
Yeah, I mean, he has the team, as I'd mentioned, second in the league, 18-5-4 through 27 games. We'll get to Kirill naturally and the offense, which we've been talking about a ton this year, rightfully so. But as I mentioned, no team has allowed fewer goals than your Minnesota Wild. In fact, they have allowed the fewest high danger chances in 5-on-5 situations as well. We could talk about Brock Faber, right? Who is a plus 12 and playing 25 minutes a game. But we should also talk about Jared Spurgeon. We have talked about how we're impressed that he hasn't let that injury result in yet another setback. I think that was such a concern. But Spurgeon without Brodin is a 1.57 expected goals against per hour rate at 5-on-5, which ranks number one among all NHL defensemen who have played at least 150 minutes this season. Is this a pace that Spurgeon can keep up? Again, he's playing so tremendous and he's been such an underrated defenseman throughout the course of his career, but especially without Jonas Brodin in the lineup. Spurge has really picked up a lot of the slack. And again, he's another player I don't think what we're paying enough attention to for how well he's performing.
I think it's something he can keep up. I mean, all things considered, making sure he doesn't re-aggravate anything or cause himself another injury. That's the last thing that we want to see. Um, Maybe, he'll have games here or there where it's like, but
Hmm.
overall, I don't see why he can't continue playing the way he's been. He's been fantastic.
Right. On the defensive end, David Juracek reassigned to Iowa just in order to get some games in. They recall Cameron Crotty, which also, again, makes me a little nervous with how severe Brodeen's injury could be. I know it's
Don't
week
tell
to
me
week.
that.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
tell me that.
But right, like, I mean, you're calling him up basically so Cameron can sit in the box. Like, I don't think he's going to see any playing time because John Merrill, again, is doing fine. Yurchek is a right-handed shot, so if you were to put him in, you need to pull out another righty like Zach Bogosian, and I don't think you're ready to do that, and Yurchek needs to get some playing time. So that's the reason for that move to just delay the 21-year-old's debut with Minnesota. But I can't wait to find out more information. Like they were shooting him up with some injections last week. That was the last I'd heard. And it was to see how his body would respond. Technically, I think if you were to have some sort of surgery, maybe if he needed it, he could be back by February.
That's such a long time. I
It's a very long time. It's a very long time.
don't want to
But
go
you know
that
what?
long.
They've been able to salvage it. Again, defensively, your best defenseman is your goalie, right? Which is Philip Gustafson, who for like a second leading week and I don't know how many weeks in a row is leading the NHL with a insane 1.99 goals against and a .931 save percentage. I just need to take a moment to soak that in. A 1.99 goals against, which again, huge testament to his defense, right, for helping keep that. But Gus has been making saves lately in the last couple games that I'm like, he makes even the toughest ones look easy. Like he's got that cool, calm confidence back that I think he had 2 years ago, where he just kind of had that, you know what, I'm going to go out there and play my game. He's not getting frustrated if something does slip in. He's so technically sound. And I'd mentioned this last night, like he's tracking the puck so well. Therefore, Kirsten, his name has come up in the Vezina conversation. He currently has the second best odds to my boy Connor Hellebuck out in Winnipeg. Gus for Vezina. What do we think?
This is crazy. Like, just everything the Wild are doing right now is crazy to me because I did not, we all can honestly say none of us expected this.
Oh,
Even like the national media, they're like, the Wild are so fun. Like,
yes.
truly everybody is talking about the Wild right now. The Wild are a team on everybody's radar. I have seen people in comment sections online because I read the comments. I like to creep and lurk and just like, be like an outsider reading people's opinions on like NHL posts and whatnot.
Yeah.
People have picked the Wild to win the cup this year. They're like, it's going to be Winnipeg or Minnesota, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's crazy to me that I'm not saying it's my opinion. I am saying
No,
this
I
is what the
know.
people are saying right now.
And I mean, they've shown us enough. We're in the first week of December where, yes, it's still early, but you have seen a lot of iterations of this team and they've won in such different ways. And even their losses don't feel that bad. I mean, again, a
And
league
we're missing
leading,
three of our top
right.
players right now.
It's just crazy to me. And I love how our PR friends, Jackson and Dylan, love to remind me of when I called Philip Gustafson a bona fide AHL backup. They
I
constantly
also like
remind
that they
me.
keep reminding you of that.
Yeah, like I'll get a text after I send out a really nice tweet about Gus, and they'll be like, wow, how far we've come from him being a bona fide backup.
Yep.
For the record, he was terrible last year. Let's
Gus
just
is
call
in his
that out.
reputation era. He
Yeah,
is in his reputation era.
I did get to chirp on Gus a little bit, but then he came right back at me. So again, about the Four Nations, I love it because I love the chirping between countries, right? Like that's so much fun, especially when you're teammates and blah blah blah. So last week I said to Gus, who was the Sweden's goalie last year for team or for the World Championships, excuse me, and he did well. Sweden won a bronze. Team USA did not do so well in the World Championships. Take him with a grain of salt. I think this year you saw more participation because of the Olympics and Four Nations implications. But generally, you don't have players opting to go play in the World Championships, right? Boldy did. He did phenomenal. Brock Faber sat out because he's hurt. 'Cause you have injuries and yada yada. And Sweden did better. But so I congratulated Gus on making Team Sweden. I just said, but I'm sorry that you're going to lose to like the US. Like that's going to be really hard for you. And he goes, oh, yeah. How did they do in the World Championships? Bill Guerin was your leader then, too. And he didn't do so well, did he? And he was just kind of like chirping about it. And so I mentioned it to Brock Faber, who made Team USA, as we predicted. And I said, Brock, Gus is already kind of talking. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to score on him. And I also brought it up to Boldy, and Boldy's like, yeah, can't wait to actually shoot to score because I have to keep his confidence up while we're here. And I just love it. I love it. A little razzing.
I love a little razz
I
everyone
mean,
up.
right? Just get a little in. I'm excited for Philip Gustafson, who again makes Sweden's team along with Joel Eriksson. I think Minnesota has like the second most. I could be incorrect on this, but I think they have like the second most representation
With 5.
for nations. Yes, I want to say Vegas has a couple more, but
I'm
five's
still not
pretty up
convinced
there.
Broads is going to play. I know he made the team. Not convinced he's going to be there.
I mean, that's what's tough. It's a high stakes tournament, right? Like it's guys are going to be out there trying to win. It's not an all-star game, if you will. Nobody's going to be trying to protect themselves because you want to win gold. You want to win this tournament, right? It's going to be fun. I want a Canada USA matchup in Boston. We might have to go out for that.
Might have to. Also, Bedard not being on Team Canada.
I
What a
mean, they went for the
world.
old guys.
I
Would you
mean,
put him,
yes, I understand, but the prodigy, the NHL's poster child, you think they would have found a way to sneak him in or like I was a little
yeah.
surprised. I was a little surprised.
Somebody tweeted out like if Russia were to have a team, and oh my God, that team would be unreal. Like,
Kirill,
oh
Svetch.
yeah, Panarin.
Yep.
Shesterkin, I think, is Russian, right?
That sounds like a very Russian name. I'd
Sounds
be
like a very
shocked to learn
you've
otherwise.
got you've got hold on, let me see. Where did it go? Oh God, I need to find it.
Ovechkin.
You got Ovi. Now I need to find it. Where would you be? Yeah, your goalies are Shesterkin, Sorkin, and Vasi. You could also toss in Varlamov or Bobrovsky. You've
Hmm.
got let's see. Malkin up front, Barbashev, Kucherov, Kirill, Tarasenko, Nishkinin, Ovechkin, Svech, Bunevich. Like, yeah, gross. Like, so good. So good.
It'd be scary.
It'd be scary. I would love to see it though. Best of the best, man.
Best of the
Got to
best.
get in on that. Speaking best of the best, Kirill Kaprizov continues his absolute dominance. 42 points in 25 games, tied for an NHL lead. I don't even know what else to say about Kirill, right? Like I just can't even again, he continues to outdo himself, right? He's that freaking good. My bigger question about Kirill will be when Matt Zuccarello the Kirill Rossi Boldy line is doing awesome. Like I love their game against Anaheim, right? And obviously Anaheim is what it is, but you got to beat up on teams like that, and they did, and I love that. My question to you, Kirsten, would you keep that line together even when Zuccarello returns, or do you go back to the tried and true Kaprizov Zuki line, or who, what do you do for your middle? Because I like that line together, and I'm sure John Hines does as well. And you can tinker with it all you want, but what are your thoughts when Zuki returns? Hopefully by the end of the month here.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I think.
So keep them.
Keep them, and then, I mean, make the adjustments and tweaks as you will, which we
Okay.
know I don't know
Jan,
what. I don't know where I was
Gines.
going with that. I don't know what just came out of my mouth, which we know John Hines does in game time. He will make those adjustments. He's not afraid to toy with the lines, change them up. But right now, if this is working, leave it until it's not. Or, like, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's my thought.
Yeah, I'm curious to what he'll think to do because you want Zuccarello to be put in a comfortable and familiar situation, right? Like it's
For sure.
definitely something that when you get him back in, you want to make sure his confidence is there. Yeah, I don't know because I like it. I like it a lot. And you put Ecker, Zuki, and Johansson together maybe on that second. Like that's not bad.
Yeah, like these aren't bad options.
No, it's a good problem to have. That's right. Like that's what I need to remind myself too is like the Minnesota Wild right now, whether it's in the goaltending scenario or in the offensive situation, like they're in a good position because you have good elite players. I don't like to use the word elite when talking about this player, but I'll give him a little shout out. Yakov Trenin scores 2 goals finally
Don't
in
sound so
back-to-back games.
excited.
I mean,
Let the man get
I
his
need more.
confidence up.
Okay, okay, you're right. You're right. Good job. Good job, Yakov. I'm proud of you. You did it. Go you.
Freddie Gaudreau, he's done did it.
Yeah, but I've always liked Freddie.
Okay.
He's always worked hard. I just, I'll always appreciate me a little Freds.
I see Trennan's just in the doghouse. He's your
Yeah.
Philip Gustafson of the past.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
It
Or my
absolutely
John Merrill.
does.
Or like my John Merrill.
No, I had more animosity towards John Merrill than you did.
Probably true.
It is true.
Yeah. Okay. Meow.
What do you? That wasn't even sassy. I was like, it is true. Pull up the receipts.
I will. It's just so much work to do that. Like every
Yeah,
week I'm
it
like, oh, I
is.
should go back and find those. And
But
every
like,
week
we
I'm like,
don't have to do that because you and I both know, and our listeners, like,
that's true. Our listeners
we
keep us
lived it.
honest.
We
Our
lived it. We were
lists,
there.
we were there. I did have like a heated disdain for Gus last year.
I know you did.
I got a little aggressive with that one.
A little bit.
A little bit. It was a little. I'm still think working to be on his good side, but we're there. I think we're okay now. We've mended fences with me never addressing that I was wrong. I have addressed it publicly.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had
Now
traded
he's
him?
just a
What if they had?
potential
What if
Vezina.
a trade came through? What if Bill Guerin was able to get a team to take him? What a different world we'd be in. He'd be doing this for
We
like the Senators. I don't know where he was actually rumored to go. Vancouver.
Crazy.
So wild. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, not all is perfect for your Minnesota Wild. I got a couple gripes, a couple annoyances that need to be mended. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Jessi Pierce here for Livea Weight Control Centers. December is here, and that means lots of holiday parties and get togethers, which also means a lot of food temptation. I get it, it can be hard. But with Livea's expert advice and one on one guidance, you can enjoy the holidays and even lose up to 10 pounds or more before the new year. Join now and get 8 weeks of Livea's nutrition program for free. Plus, GLP-1 weight loss medication, semaglutide, and tirzepatide start at just $199 for your first month. You guys, I have been on Livea for more than a year now. I've dropped 40 pounds and I'm keeping it off. That has been the crucial element. I've been coupling the nutrition program along with some GLP-1 medications, and I couldn't feel better. I love my Woodbury Center, the guidance that they give me, that one-on-one support, and the medication just helping quiet some of that food noise. So what are you waiting for? Jumpstart your 2025 goals. Join today and get your first 8 weeks of Livea's award-winning nutrition program for free. Plus, GLP-1 medication, semaglutide, and tirzepatide start at just $199 for your first month. No insurance required, plus FSA, HSA eligible. Visit Livea.com, that's Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVEA and start losing today. We back. No, I'm not going to gripe about Trennan anymore again. Way to go. 2 goals in the season. We're 27 games in, but it's fine. I'm just, it takes a lot to impress me. I need better. I need constantly things better. Speaking of things that need to get better, the face-offs. My goodness, you guys. All right. Your face-offs are still less than 50%. They're 49.1. My bigger issue is the face-offs when the team is on the penalty kill. They can't win a face-off in the defensive zone to save their life, which is why the PK continues to be an absolute disaster. 73.4% effective, 27th in the league. But I'm looking at the face-offs. Like, I don't know what needs to be done. Like, I get, Marco Rossi's kind of small up the middle. Like, they don't have that true number one center except Ecker. But who's Nadinov? I needed a little bit more from him at the dot, and I need a little bit more. Like, they need to start winning, especially when they're on the PK, especially in the defensive zone. Like, that's my biggest one. It's face-offs, Kirsten.
And that was like the biggest accolade everyone had about Kuznetsov last season when he first came in, was like how he
Right.
was so great at face-offs. What changed? What happened?
I don't know. And again, it's like even Tom Reed and I were chatting about it last home game. He's like, could they win in the zone? Like, they just can't win. Like, they're not. I don't know. I don't know. You just got to work it into the ground almost, right?
Yeah, you do. Just again, do it again.
Again,
Sorry, I'm distracted. I hear a truck outside and now Bodie's freaking out. I think I'm getting a package.
it's definitely an Amazon package. Tis package. You're
Bodie's
acquiring a
growling. I'm
package.
just gonna take a look out the window real quick.
Okay, it's probably just an Amazon package. Maybe it's a Christmas present for me, which
Oh,
would be
dang.
so appreciative. I don't think she even heard that, but I'm
No,
gonna
I did. Your
pretend.
Christmas present is wrapped. I wrapped it while I was awake
Oh,
until 1:30 a.m. watching the live stream last night. I'm
oh
ahead of
boy.
schedule right now. I'm about to mail out my Christmas cards. Like,
Love.
my next door neighbor, FedEx, is outside. They're getting a huge, huge package. Like, I'm about
Ooh,
to like go outside and ask the delivery man, like, you need help? Like, it's a
that's
big
very kind of you.
package.
That's
Bodie's
very
not
sweet
happy.
of you. Who on the Minnesota Wild is on your naughty list? And every time I say that, I do. I feel so like, who's getting coal for Christmas?
Ooh, I need to think about this for a second because I haven't been really displeased with.
I'm going Yakov. Trennan gets coal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's my number one. He gets coal. That's probably the only
Um,
one.
well, I'm
Trennan.
gonna take a very different approach.
Okay.
It's Jewel and Jonas, both of them package deal because they just need to stay healthy. We go through
Mm,
this multiple times every season. So
yeah,
that's why they're on my naughty list because I want them in the lineup. We're a better team when they're playing. And there's
that's
been a
fair.
lot of moments neither of them have been playing.
I
Coincidentally
like
at the same time.
I like the direction you went with that. Because I honestly don't think I have another one in mind.
Yeah.
Like I Yeah,
Like
I think
I
it's
honestly like I have minimal notes. Like I really
right.
don't have much.
I'm going trending just to,
You got to keep your
keep
bit
true to
alive.
myself. Got to keep true to myself. Um, but obviously Kirill gets the best gift, right? Like he's getting like my kid's top list
He's gonna get the
Christmas.
payday
He
is what
gets
he's gonna get.
he gets the number one gift being requested in my household is the impossible gift of a tree house. Like I don't know how Santa delivers on a tree house for Christmas, like in the middle of the winter. So
You got
that's
to
going to
get
be a
creative.
challenge. That's what I said. I'm like, we could figure something out, but that's like, it's that one where that's all he's asking for. That's all he wants. And it's like, I want nothing more than to get him that, but I don't know how we.
So is Mike just gonna be in the backyard building it?
He could, but then how do you keep that hidden? You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep that hidden either.
Yeah, this
Like,
is
there's no way around it. Like, yeah,
maybe Santa drops off the wood and the
that's what I
supplies.
said. And they could, yeah, like build the treehouse together.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So they know they're getting it. It's just
right.
not
What a
done.
mess. I know. I don't know why he even wants a treehouse.
I would want a treehouse. That's sick.
It is cool. We do have one tree in the back that might be sufficient too. But that's what, yeah. So like that's I'd be working to get a treehouse for Kirill if that's what he really wanted.
Interesting.
He probably doesn't want a treehouse. I don't know.
Probably
Maybe he seems
not.
like a treehouse kid.
Maybe he just wants a really large tractor tire so he can keep up with his conditioning.
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's yeah.
He's like no days off. Or maybe a
0 days
bear
off.
to like practice.
It is why that image, like I've convinced myself it's almost like the Mandela effect. I've convinced myself that that actually happened, that he actually wrestled a bear in the mud after he was flipping tires during
Yeah.
one of his off season. Like that in my head is like, yeah, that's of course what he did. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Man alive. Do we got anything else? You got anything else that you want to air out, talk about?
Mm, well, I feel well, don't get me started. There's many things I can air out and
Oh boy.
discuss. I can't promise they're hockey related.
Well, then maybe we keep those to
Then,
ourselves. A
yeah.
league wide, I do need to say I'm very saddened at the direction that John Gibson's game has gone. It's
Ooh.
was a tough look for him the other night. Man alive, like yikes. I love John Gibson.
And then Anaheim's building quite the cast out there.
Is Trevor Zegras okay?
Allegedly, he's having fun, is what he
He
said.
looks so
The
sad.
the beat writer brought that up to him. They're like, people are worried about you. Like, are you
Yeah.
having fun? And apparently he laughed and he's like, I'm having the time of my life.
He looks very defeated.
He does. I don't know.
Poor Trevor. Poor Z. But yeah,
Maybe he
John
needs to
Gibson, that's a
be
sad one.
reunited with his friends, Drysdale, or maybe other friend in Matt Boldy.
Were they buds? I know they're Team USA guys,
Team
but
USA.
for some
I'm
reason I
pretty
feel like
sure they
their
were friends.
personalities wouldn't blend.
I'm pretty sure they were friends.
Interesting.
I
I know
think
like
so.
Newhook was a big close friend of Bold's and
I'm pretty
Cole.
sure Zegras and Boldy were
I'm sure they,
friends.
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, John
Just gotta
Gibson,
say, I wore the red, white, and blue and done.
love
Besties.
it. Oh, Tyler Sagan's hurt too. Like my two
Yeah, he's
guys.
out 4 to 6 months.
It's been a tough week of news for me last week. It was just wah, wah, wah. Except Four Nations was announced. God, I'm so excited. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
you know, it was Jewel and Jonas getting hurt for me,
Mm,
and I've been mad ever since.
that's
That's
fair.
my gripe.
Also, it's high school hockey season,
Hmm.
which we love. And I went to the gym early morning the other day and they were playing a replay of the Zephyr hockey game, which normally I'd be like, sweet. Yeah. They were getting absolutely waxed by Hill Murray. It was like 8-1, which is the last thing I wanted to see on the TV at 5 in the morning,
I'm
right?
happy you could have been there to witness it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna have a down year. The football team was really bad this year for the Zephyrs. I don't think the hockey team's gonna be that great. But
Mm.
high school hockey, let's go, baby. Let us know who we should cheer for if we're not cheering for Matamidi and Rochester, right?
Maybe I have an opinion, but I feel like it's not a popular one.
All
Actually,
right.
no. I could say Edina, and then people would be like, ooh. So yes, there is something that could be worse.
Okay.
But this one I feel is also bad amongst a lot of people, at least that run in my circle. Lakeville North. I've always loved Lakeville North.
Why?
I don't I can't explain it. I just have always like I was like if I stay in Minnesota my whole life and like have a family here, I've always been like I'd want my kids to go to school at Lakeville North. I can't explain it. I just love I
Hmm.
have maybe it's because that was one of my first jobs out of college. I started like doing things for Lakeville North. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But that's who I feel I'm cheering for.
I don't know who my other team would be, I guess. It's a really sensitive subject for me.
Yeah.
Gotta be Matamide. You know what? I've lately felt my last final thing. I've felt guilty, and I would love for our audience to weigh in on this. So we open enrolled our kids in Matamide. It had nothing to do with athletics. It's obviously because I freaking love Matamide. My husband, who is a White Bear grad, actually wanted them to go to Matamide too because it's a smaller school size. Like there's 800 kids per class for White Bear, whereas there's, little over 200, I think, for
I don't know,
Matamide.
but that new high school's nice.
Yeah, it's
Real
fine.
nice.
It's
It's
fine.
real nice.
But that being said, we're going to keep them in Matamidi sports, right? So we start signing them up for all this Matamidi stuff. Again, that had no factor in our reason to go to Matamidi. But there's free or it's $2 open skate at the Hippodrome in White Bear every Sunday. And I don't know, part of me just feels guilty going and using their ice when he's not going to be playing for the White Bear Lake Youth Association. But to be fair, Matamidi doesn't have their own ice. And I know we're not the only Matamidi kids that are out there skating, but I don't know. There's something that I feel a little guilty about.
Mm. Is this you trying to clear your conscience?
I am. I feel bad
Have
about it. Like
people
I
in the
look out
comments
there.
being like, it's okay, Jessi.
I just want to know what people think about it. Like, should I feel guilty? Like, I don't know. And again, we don't have the kids signed up in hockey just yet. We're just taking Caden. Caden might be the hockey player,
I
believe it or not.
I love Kaden.
He is committed. We've gone 2 Sundays in a row. He's gotten better already, and actually, it was adorable. Ironically, it was a girl. I graduated with her son, who is 8 or 9. He was out on the ice and he was helping Caden, like
Mm.
showing him how to skate and like how to stand. And Caden listened to that much better than he listens to myself or my husband. But it was very cute. So shout out to my friend Courtney and her kiddos for helping him out. But
You're
yeah,
gonna
so
be
we're
a
just learning
hockey
to
mom
skate.
after all.
I know I'm so lazy though.
It was always Kaden. He was always the one.
It's so funny. I've never seen him so determined in anything, like at all. And he looks like he'll be a little brood out there, like that's the thing. Like at first I thought he just wanted to like go and mess around or I don't know, but he's good with it. We signed up Hudson for basketball. Avery will
Mhm.
probably be a hockey player too.
You think so?
Yes.
I
I
feel like
mean,
she loves dance too
she
much.
does love dance. She does love dance. We're gonna beat that out of her though.
Oh,
Just kidding. We're not gonna...
oh,
That just came out.
oh.
Guys, that just came out. No, dance is fine. I'm not athletic enough to be a dancer. But I think I have a weird feeling about dance because I don't know anything about it. Like I was into the sports side of things, so it's like I don't know how to navigate it. It's also a big time commitment.
It is a
I don't
big
know.
commitment.
All right, let's wrap up this episode. This week's secret word is coal, like Coal, not the name.
I like how you never take you never ask
Did you?
anymore. You never take
I
my
don't.
suggestions anymore.
What's your
You just
suggestion?
I don't have any.
All right,
But you
next
also
week.
didn't ask.
How about next week you pick the secret word?
Yes, I would like that very much. And you can't have any notes. What I pick as the secret word is the secret word.
Okay, deal. This week it's coal. Next week it's probably going to be something real great, real good, fantastic. That's going to do it for this week's ep. Don't forget to check out all of our episodes. Subscribe, rate, like, share. Don't forget to check out Talk North, SotaStick, Royal Credit Union, Livea, Greenbelt, and Jim Beam. Update, we will not have a live show throughout the month of December. It's just too crazy for everybody, right? Too chaotic, which means we will have 2 coming up in January. Stay tuned for those dates. Other than that, have a great rest of your week. Bye.